Well, despite the amount of blocks in that wall and the floors of the ceilings and everything else, how many blocks are in this project? There's still no FPS drops, which is really strange and quite good actually as well. I really like that about this game.
It's all about humanity.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Rising World. I'm your host 2005 Guy02. Okay, so it looks like it's a nice day out this time, other than the rain that it was when we left. So the idea for today is maybe do some work on the inner wall after finishing off the floor. I'm thinking of changing it to a different wood type down on the floor here, and then we can do a ceiling as well. I'll do this bit of the floor all the way through to there off of camera so that I don't constantly show you guys the same thing over and over again. And I shall see you guys once this piece is done, and then we can go on again. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do is see if we could get some light, make our own light switches, and see if it's actually doable. So I'm not sure if we can get a light switch made, if that's, or the size of that bit of pipe is the smallest that we can actually make things. So it's going to be a challenge. So I'm not particularly fond of something that's too much of a challenge, but it's going to be interesting. So I'll get this little bit of floor. Well, after getting some more trees turned into lumber, I'll get this piece of flooring done, and I shall see you guys once we're ready. Oh, it's raining again, and I've found a couple of mistakes down here. One being, this is not centered. After sorting out the mess down below, I've decided to redo the walls here, and they're a little bit better. They're not great, but everything is sort of even. But because of this bit here and this bit here, I found out, yeah, I forgot to center the whole thing before putting the door in. Now, what I could have done was remove this whole lot and start again, but I've decided to, by the bullet, this is not going to be completely centered on this side, but I will center it on that side. Now, I've also, with that window over there, to make at least that side of it, what's it called, not centered, but what's the word called again? Well, the same as the other side, basically. I've put the windows in the middle of it. Same with over there, and also I've done that here as well. So that now lines up perfectly with the other one. But that did mean that I had to move this wall out a little bit as well, in which I found a couple snags when I tried to do it. So I've been collecting all the different sizes of wood that we'd need to do this piece. So I'm struggling a little bit to get this right, and then we can go back up top and I'll lay the floor again. So, oops, going to map accidentally. Okay, so at the moment we've got quite a lot of that timber now. We've got a couple beams. Now, I'm not sure if I'd use 84 or 96 or number 90 material-wise as to which type to use for the floor. Now, number 90 looks basically like this. The 84 looks like a white variation of this, and then 64 is basically that one up there. Sorry, is it 64? Sorry, 71. 71 is this. There is 80 9, which looks like that. And that is sort of similar to what I've currently got, well, what I had in my room before I yanked up all the laminate flooring, which was a mistake. I've tried to lay the laminate flooring myself, and because it's double locking, it's a real pain in the rear end. To get one layer in, you do the whole bit, you start on the next layer, you hook it in, it looks perfect. You hook in the next layer after doing that line, and out pops the one that you already had in place. It's a freaking nightmare. Now I know why, when I was working at the Recycling Centre, I would have tons and tons of the bloody stuff come in. And that's because it's a freaking nightmare, that stuff. And also, when you pull it up, what the heck are you going to do with it? Personally, I'm using the leftover laminate, the old laminate, I'm using as interior walls. They're strong. They're a pain in the ass to get a nail through, or a screw, or anything for that matter. Perfect. It stops the noise as well after the portion. Granted, I'll have to cut out areas for sockets and everything else out of it too. But once it's all laid in and I've got it now gone to the wooden frames, then I might be able to do something with it. But I won't have the pattern towards me, because it would be picture that as let's say portrait, rotated the landscape. That's what it would look like. So what I'd have is the back end of that. Then I sandpaper the whole thing. Then I put the glue and wallpaper on it later. And that's basically the plan. At least for one side. The other side, I've got some plastic instead for the moment. Which on the other side has got aluminium foil. Behind that, I've got loft insulation, then aluminium foil, and then chipboard. And that has stopped a hell of a lot of racket going through it. Also, for some reason, when it's nice weather outside, it was a really nasty thunderstorm outside last night, and it's not been all that nice weather today. But yesterday, during the day, it was really, really hot, and I clocked the temperature at 30 degrees in my room itself. But the corner, which I've got pretty much surrounded in aluminium foil at this point, except for one wall, this little area was only 25 degrees. So that's a fair old drop compared to what my father thought it was going to be turning into an oven. Now, of course, the reason why I think this area will be alright during the summer is my PC itself will not be in this section. It will be in my room. But albeit this little room is within my room. But because it's not going to be in here, it won't be heating up this area all that much, except for the monitors. The 28-inch 4K monitors, blah blah blah, from Yamaha. And basically, it's only the monitors that are going to really be heating up this area. The NAS drives, my computer, will be in the other portion of my room, heating that up. But that way I keep the noise from my computer out, the noise from the NAS drives also out, and then basically anything that makes a lot of noise out. And then that way it should be nice audio quality and everything else once I get the other panels in here as well. But getting back to the game itself, so basically that looks like my laminate, so it might be a nice one for the floor up top, or I was thinking that for the utility rooms, the other option would be this one here, which would be It's not exactly like this. This is what my new lamp looks like. Slightly lighter and still pain in the rear end to put together. The other option would be the white, which does sort of look like this, just white in colour. And I was thinking maybe wall slats. I haven't quite decided yet because this wall I might do the same up there. I was thinking of a thinner slat than this, lined up like that, and then a beam going across, and then more slats across it like that as well. The problem is trying to get everything. Let's say the slat will be in the middle of here. Sorry, the beam will be in the middle of here, and then the slats will be either side. In the old house, I don't think it was in the middle. The beam. I don't think it was in the middle of the wall. Basically, it had two types of. I was about to say toilet paper. Two types of wallpaper up, and I think it was the first layer was there, and then a beam, and the rest was the other type of wallpaper. And that always sticks in my mind as that is quite nice. You have a wooden beam separating the two types of wallpaper, but it's this real pain in the rear end trying to fix it if it gets water damage or other things. And also trying to keep that beam nice and straight. Where walls, if you look at your actual wall itself, get a what's the thing called again? The bit with the water droplet inside. I can't really remember the names of the tools anymore. If you check it up against the wall, you'll find that the walls are out by a couple of millimeters, sometimes even a couple of centimeters. And I found that out when I was doing this. Not to mention that the new wood that I ordered online were bent. So they were absolutely of no use if you want to do, let's say, this type of wood structure. It was absolutely useless. So I'm not sure what I'm going to use those beams for. Maybe chop them down. Uh, I don't have one of those big planes that they are horrendously expensive and just not worth getting for this tiny type of job. Now, if I had a job in woodworking, then yeah, sure, I'd buy one of those. But I can't afford £1,000 for a plane, or £5,000 was the one I was looking at the other day. I could buy a new version of AutoCAD if that wasn't as good as a subscriber base now. But yeah, that said, I'll chop these ones down again in a minute. Get the spacing to be roughly the same as this. But then what I'll do is I will get it so that it's all centered, and then have a hallway that's centered going down and in there. Or this could be one big room, which up to about here was the plan. One big room there, and then maybe a big room there. Not sure about kitchen. This doubles up quite nicely as an old-fashioned type kitchen because of those grills down there. May have overdone it on cooking of food. So if we go here and go to the food that I've dumped, may have overdone it a bit on the hunting and the cooking. I did burn the first load of steak, so yeah. Okay, that all said, I'm just going to quickly finish this bit, and then once we're ready to do the rest up there, I'll put the camera back on. Well, this video's taken a lot longer than I initially planned. Whew, started this around about 7:30-ish, and it's just gone past 1:30, so it's taken a while to get here. We have moose. Can we shoot through the window? Maybe. Because we don't have any glass, we can shoot through the window. Nice. Okay. Just have to make sure that there isn't a second one out here. Otherwise we'll have a little bit of trouble with a loose or two. Now that's the house. Where the heck did that moose fall? Okay, we were aiming out of this window here. So it should be around here somewhere. That's weird. Because sworn it was here. Oh no, there it is. Okay, oops, going in the water. Always slows us down. Oh, crap, our inventory is full. Oh well, there's nothing else here, is there? Okay, actually let's put this stuff that we don't need at the moment, let's put that in one of these boxes. Don't think we need these ones just yet. Anything else we can drop off? The drill, the sledgehammer. That should give us a little bit of space. At least enough for 4 items. Okay. Okay. We have some more food to cook in a minute. Okay, so yes, like I was saying, this video is taking a lot longer than initially planned. Still have to do that side of the window. I've put in a couple of the walls already. Now, up above and also down here, this is actually quite a nice view as is. But we don't have any really wide windows unless we muck about with the settings. So if we go to the window setting, I don't really want to do this at the moment, but we can make it wide this way. We can make it pretty damn wide by the look of it. Thanks, I didn't know we could make it that wide. So we could do that, or we could actually make our own frame and see if that works. Granted, we'd have to get some glass and see if we can muck about with it. With that said, what I was going to start just now is the bathroom. Let's see if we can get this back down to the normal size again. There we go. So if we do that, because there are a couple other windows that I haven't quite finished yet, and I do want to make sure that everything is same size. I think that's right. Right. That looks about it. Maybe one. Oops. There we go. That's the right one. Okay, so that's back to being the right size again. Let's put the snap grid back to normal. Okay. Oh, wrong button. So what I had planned was to do the bathroom now. How I'm going to make the bath itself, I have no idea because we don't have a bath. I guess we could use the wood and then use the rounded wood as pipes for it. Maybe use either one of these two for taps. Haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do it just yet. But that said, I was thinking about how we're going to do the walls of it. Bear in mind that the space that I've got for it is a little bit on the big side, maybe a little bit too big. So what I might do is I might leave that as a piece for the hallway, bring the room out, or make a room out there, and then also, of course, coming from the landing, going there. haven't quite jotted down, well, I haven't jotted down any of this. This is just purely by sight. How do I want to place this, and so on. But initially I was thinking having the bathroom entrance straight over by the staircase. So you come off the staircase, and then you've got the bathroom. It looks too big like that, especially with the space that we've got here, because there is quite a lot of space there. But I guess if we want the landing as well, we could have it that big. And then when it comes to the walls, which is basically my biggest problem at the moment, on the circular sort of table that we've got downstairs, we can't make any wood that looks like it's got blocks on it, like tiles. In theory, in reality, you could actually do that. Whether or not you actually wanted to do that, it's another matter, because it would completely weaken that bit of wood. Because you'd drop the blade down, so it's only sticking out by a tiny fraction, and then with the chocks down the side of it, you'd basically slide it through. You'd move it down by the size that you want the squares, and then do the next row, and then again the next row, and so on. Then you flip around and do the same again. Of course, we can't do that in this game. We have no control over the table saw itself. So what I've been toying with, idea-wise, is to make our own tiled wall. As to what I'm going to have as the background, I have no idea, to be honest. Now, I could do the bit like I was talking about earlier with the wallpaper, so it'd have half and half, so it wouldn't be too much of a problem. Then what we could do is not use the planks that I've got for the utility room, but use these. So if we go to number 3, let's make that a bit wider. So we've got a nice big wide piece. We'd want to make this one as high as the room itself will be. Granted, we'd have to do the beams first as well, of course. But let's say that's that's the wall. Let's put the snapping on so it's all snapped. Then we're going to want to lower the snap. Lower the snap a little bit, or make the snap slightly smaller. Then we should be able to place on there. You'd have to put the board on a slightly different snap by the look of it. Okay, so how small can we make the snap? Yes, that's pretty damn small. Okay, so yeah, on the smallest snap, we could actually do it on that side. Okay. So how small can we make a board? Let's have a little look. Well, that is pretty small. Just have to move the character because he won't stop jumping back. How about that side? Wow, that's small. I don't think I want to make tiles that small. Question is, if we did do that, okay, so we'd have to figure out what we'd have as a backdrop, because granted that it would be a different type of wood, but let's grab the crowbar. Oh, wrong one. I've been doing that a lot lately. It sounds like somebody's downstairs. They're not supposed to be on this side, but I wouldn't put it past them. Can we actually grab the abs from here? Yes, we can. Nice. Okay, let's have a quick peek down there first. Sounded like there was somebody on that side of the wall. It could just be the fireplace, of course. I don't see anyone. Okay. Just have to be very careful lately with those bloody bandits. Oh, actually looking at water. There we go. Okay, so to do a light switch, let's try the light switch first. So that will be number 2. Let's bring the grid up. Let's say that would be, let's say, the light switch cover. It's a bit on the big side. So that's on there. It's not hovering in place, it's just on there. That's good. Now if we shrink that, yeah, let's go with that size. Let's go back to that color, so it would be number 3. Now we could have a push button, or we could have an actual switch. Okay, we'd have to go a bit more inwards by the look of it. Maybe place that piece first before we place. Let's have a look. So that's on there now, instead of on there. Now we go to number 2. Make that straight again. It's not going to work for us, is it, like that? Only up to a certain point. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do that. Damn. Okay, how about... Oops. Damn it, not again. How about if we make the angle slightly steeper? Okay. That's a little bit better. It would have to go a bit lower though. Let's say about there. That's not too bad looking. Okay, so let's try the tiles. Let's make white all tiles. And see what we get from that. So is that straight again? Yeah. Okay, so if we get that, would we get... damn. We'd have to make it one bigger. Okay, let's try it. Try it again. Granted, we can't do any granting. Otherwise it would be quite realistic. Okay, let's put that one back on. 1, 2. Space down the side there is a bit bigger. But I guess we could do that. Yeah, let's take the grid off. It's not quite right, but it's better than just a plain board. And then for that piece, we could maybe, that might be a bit harder. This jumping pad is a bit of a nightmare. Okay, so that is a little bit of problem. Oops. If it was there, maybe. I would have to make smaller tiles. It's going to be a pain in the rear end, but ooh, can we make it a tad wider? No, it'd be too wide if we did that. I guess we'd have to do that. Granted, I now have to dismantle that board. Okay, so if we did that, made the light switch inside of it, so if we go around it, oops, accidentally put one on top of each other there. The nice thing about this game is it's quite well optimized because depending on how, well, considering how complex this build is already, there is absolutely no FPS drops. None. Okay, so let's make that bigger now. Okay, that's too big. About there should do. Maybe not. But that would be ideal. It's basically the same size as that. Let's see what happens if we do one bigger. Let's remove that piece. Okay. Okay, not quite right unless we went one on top and then did the switch. Looks a bit weird, but I wonder. This is all just experimenting for the moment. Okay, so bring out that one. And then the center piece there. Does that look? No, it's not quite there. Yep, almost there again. Okay, maybe a different color board. There's lots of sea fighting here, which is a little bit troublesome. Let's have a look. So we need the white one again. Okay, it's a bit on the big side, especially for a Switch, but proof of concept, it looks like it might be doable, unless we do one of these types of switches. If we can, that is. Damn it. Get on there. Damn it. I don't think I got that right at all, but okay, so there are a couple options that we have, but it looks like it's going to take quite a long time to do this. So I think, looking at how well the tiny ones are, I think I might go with that. So what I'll do is I'll put a cut here. We're actually seeing how late it is, and granted the episode isn't that long at the moment, I think what I'll do is I'll leave the episode here for the moment, and I shall see you guys in the next one, where hopefully I'll have made the main layout of the bathroom. Put the light on. Oops. Made the main layout for the bathroom. Got the main boards up, and we can start playing around with some tiles then. Might have to make the tiles before figuring out where we're going to put the light switch. Or we could go down this route where we place them all down, then we build the light switch on top of it. It's not realistic at all, but it might be a way around this little problem. And who knows, we might even be able to put that block on the board and then cover it over with the other boards. Oh well, I'll just dismantle this, and I shall see you guys next time. So if you've liked what we've seen so far, please leave a like. If you didn't, please let me know why. Also, if you're not subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button to help the channel grow. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now. Whoops, wrong game. Freaking okay, I don't know which button that was. Okay, sorry. So yeah, bye for now.